I think having a coach in the racing industry is what's kind of been missing the last few years.
Anybody in this day and age who doesn't have a coach is crazy. Every sport has coaches. Jockeys aren't an exception to that rule.
We've got some very good coaches out there that have been and ridden at the highest level. They've all been through them ups and downs. When you've had a bad day, it's really nice to be able to talk to somebody that's been through it before.
It's a friendship with sort of mutual respect. See, I was very fortunate being champion apprentice, but having someone like Rodi, I got on great with him. He's a lovely fellow, and he knows what it's like to be a jockey. He knows the ups and downs. He's had a lot of bad injuries, and he knows sort of your mindset of how it works when you're younger as well. Because obviously you don't come into the racing industry with a sort of fully focused mind on the right things.
Well, I actually met Rodi on the pony racing circuit. I speak to him every day after I have a ride. To be fair, he's probably more than just a jockey coach now, he's a good friend as well.
I find it great to have someone to talk to that's not directly involved. His comments aren't swayed in any way. It's good to talk to someone that's give you a bit more confidence.
It's a tough job. You're at it the whole time, 24/7. It's in your mind. You got your diet to worry about. You're driving to the races. And if you have someone there to help you, it's a massive difference. And I know from experience, I wish I'd had someone to help me, because there's plenty of dark days when you have no one to talk to.
When you're young, you need a pretty tough skin, which I think it gets a bit tougher as you ride for a while, but at the beginning, it can hurt a lot.
If you haven't ridden a winner for a long time or something like that, and he'll just talk you through it and explain it. Actually, it happens to everyone, but sometimes you just need to hear it from someone rather than just thinking about it on your own.
I think a good coach will sit them down and make them realise that you are going to make mistakes. We're human beings, everybody makes mistakes, and nobody's going to win on everything they should have won on.
I linked up with Reid. I felt that he taught me loads, and it's not always about the physical, you've got to sit down and watch it and go through the racing. I felt that's how I learned.
I think a big part of the coaching is working out the person, formulate your coaching accordingly, really.
I'd never had anything to do with jockey coaching or any coaching and racing at all before. I just came from eventing and sort of muddled my way along. Just being able to watch it back, what you're doing, what you think you're doing is not necessarily what you're actually doing. The difference is unbelievable, unrecognisable.
But I do a lot on the equisizer because I feel that's a big part of my job, is to get them riding really well. And once I get them riding well in here, it follows through. There's no doubt about that. And I just think it makes them better, much quicker.
Well, I'm with Reid and also Nick Bentley, and I thought I was fitter than I was until I started these sessions. It's opened my eyes to, I need to get my finger out and do more.
When I first walked into the room, I was terrible. Going back to basics, it doesn't just happen overnight, and John's got a lot of patience for you. I think 1 week we must have spent 4 days in there. By the end of it, I was absolutely knackered, and I'm pretty sure he was.
Josie first come to me, and she had a lot to learn at that stage, but what she had was huge determination, and used to get so frustrated if she couldn't do things. She really put that determination into gear, and look where she is now.
The Hands and Heels series as well, you get course walks from the coaches, which I think is brilliant. And I remember Reid doing that with me, and even now if he's at the races and I say, I'll be unsure or something, he'll take me out on the track and walk with me.
Every race is different. We talk the night before and we try and work out how we can win. A good example is Harry Cobden. I had him from a young lad. He will walk the course every day because he knows it's an edge. Kids like that who are doing everything and are really embracing the system for that edge, they're the ones who are doing well.
Being a jockey is not a one-dimensional thing. I'm always teaching them as well how to handle themselves, what to say when they get off, how to say it, keep their eyes open in the weighing room, pick up some information that might help them in a race. They have to work hard. If they don't work at it, it isn't going to happen. If they get a roll on and become successful at 17, it is hard to handle. And sometimes you lose them for a little while, and there's nothing you can do about that. You just sometimes have to let them find their own way. But hopefully, when they've realised where they are, I can talk to them about it and analyse it and get them back on track, because there's nobody alive that isn't affected by success. All of a sudden you've got money, you've got success, and people treat you slightly different. We've all got to learn to cope with that.
The Jockey Coaching Programme is so important for young jockeys. They have got so much experience behind them now with these coaches. These guys are going to be able to bring the best out of these jockeys as athletes. Quite quickly we're starting to become one of the best jockey coaching development organisations in the world. We will keep improving until we are the best.
The way I look at it, the jockey coach is there to help you. So at the end of the day, it's good advice, it's there, it's helpful, I wouldn't turn it down.
The ones that are really into it and are on the phone all the time and we're communicating a lot do very, very well. You know, you just got to get in there and work real hard. The more you give, the more you get.
The key benefits of having the jockey coaches now is that these young jockeys, I think they come on so much quicker than they used to.
I'm not saying everybody's going to be champion jockey, but coaching definitely makes you better. And if they don't embrace that, they must be mad.